Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel Mungai. This is a channel for you students, diploma students, undergraduate students. This is the place where we inspire you to gain more and to have a more fulfilling journey in your diploma and degree studies. Now remember, this is not cast in stone. These are just proposals we make based on the questions and queries that I have received over a long period of time in my career as a lecturer. Now, further to this, remember that this is a digital era and you have a lot of options to play around with this information and create a space for yourself. So this week, we want to talk about an interesting question that came my way. A student has asked, how can I become a reporter with a difference? Now that's a good question. It doesn't matter whether you want to become a reporter for radio or for TV, but let's just talk about a reporter. Now, if you want to become diligent and do your work and excel, remember there is room for everyone in the market and in the industry. So we're going to share a few thoughts and ideas to help us and to help you excel in your career choice of being a reporter. Now, one thing you need to do is to be creative. Now, look into the market and especially the mainstream media. There are many areas that they miss out. And remember, the mainstream media locally and the world over can't bring all the stories or can't cover all the stories and in all the angles. So that provides an opportunity for you right there as a student. So our example today to illustrate and to share tips on how to become a competent reporter is to look at current stories which have been covered by the mainstream media and look at angles that haven't yet been exploited. For example, in the country right now, there's a lot of conversation and debate surrounding the high cost of electricity. It's very expensive on all aspects, whether at home or at industrial level. Now, one way of doing a story on electricity is to pick up a different angle and different aspects of electricity consumption and payment in this country. For example, you may want to look at areas of costing and interrogate aspects such as when somebody buys units worth 200 shillings and somebody else buys units worth 5,000 shillings, why is it that both of them pay the same taxes? That is not fair. It is punitive. Those are areas now you can dig deeper into and create a story right in there. Another aspect of the same electricity cost would be to do a case study of an ordinary local citizen. For example, you can pick a local barber shop or a local hairdresser and in the neighborhoods and interview them and find out how many units do you need for you to run in a day and how much does that cost vis-a-vis how much rent you pay and how much business you generate in a day, and then you can extrapolate that to 1 month and you can find the amount of money that that small trader is spending on electricity. Again, you can do a similar case study of a hairdresser. And then you can also take another case study and do a feature on somebody who does foundry works, the welder, the ordinary welder, either as a mechanic or the person who builds furniture, the steel seats and so on. How much does it cost them to buy tokens for their daily operations? How much does it cost in a month? Now, that way you'll be able to bring out a feature a rich feature that you can run on one of the online platforms so that this information can be available to the general publics, and so that we can appreciate just how expensive power is in this country. And then you can take it a notch higher and look at somebody who lives in a one-bedroom apartment as a single person, and somebody who has a family who lives in a, say, a three-bedroom middle-class home, and somebody who lives in a leafy suburb with five-bedroom home. How much electricity is consumed in all those households, and how many tokens in terms of the costing? How much does it cost to run those respective homes in those various segments? Now that way you bring out a picture of how much it costs to pay for electricity in this country. Then you can take it a notch higher and take it to the industrial scale. A mid-level factory, how much electricity do they need in a month? If it's a steel factory or a bigger factory, how much do they pay in terms of electricity? And then you can take it even a notch higher and find out why are many organizations that were previously settled here in this country, why have they relocated to other countries in Africa where the electricity is cheaper? Because indeed, doing business in this country is very expensive. Now, that way you would be able to have given us and the public a very solid story. Make sure it is well researched, that you have the facts right, and you have interviewed the relevant people in the relevant agencies, and you have also interviewed the consumers, and you have good comparative data of consumption and how much it translates to inflation and the cost of living, thereby illustrating just how difficult it is to run a home in this country or run a small business, given the way the economy is running. Now, this way, as we were answering the question today, you will be on your path of becoming a reliable reporter who has a feel, a pulse on the local citizenry and their plight in terms of payment of electricity and electricity tokens. Now, this is one way that you can exploit to become a seasoned reporter. Remember, it won't come overnight. There'll be challenges along the way, but build on these tracks. And remember, we are here to offer additional advice and guidelines, especially to those who want to come on an individual level, or you're in small groups and you need some mentorship, because we have worked in the industry. We are journalists by profession, and we'll be able to give you some sound tips. So thank you very much for those who continue to subscribe, continue to share, and share your comments, and keep these questions coming in because they give us a guideline on how to prepare the next content for you. So keep it here and keep writing to us.